Hello again. I'm Mystic Cassandria, and this is Alphawisdom, Palmistry. All right, today we will do our last photo for this week. We're continuing analyzing reading photos of hands. And next week we will get into more of handprints. So here's the one I have for you for today. All right. Okay, just glimpse that as best you can because we're going to go right on with the analysis of this hand because there's a lot to be said about it. All right? Remember, we're talking about how best to do this, and to do that, how best to analyze. It's always good to have some kind of guide there or a list of things you want to cover. And if you make a habit out of that, you'll find, oh, this is not as difficult as I thought. Okay, so we will get started now. So here's the final proof. Okay, this is a fire hand. A fire hand is a person who's adventurous and passionate, spontaneous, enthusiastic, impulsive, and can be a little audacious. They like active things. They like to be active. They can promote themselves. They need reassurance from the physical act of love. They're quick to anger, but they're quick to forgive. So they don't hold a grudge. And that's pretty good, I think. Okay. Now, this is just a close-up of this. So I will refer to this and this also. All right. Fire hand, you understand that we've got a rectangular hand with shorter fingers in comparison. And let's take the line that's coming here. Here you can see it. It's kind of faint, but it's there. Just slightly. It's just above there. You can see a little bit of it there, and I've made lines for it. Comes right here. And that is called the passion line. And it was given that name by a famous researcher who is also a palmist, Johnny Fincham. And he says that when you have this line forming a diagonal shape, sort of slanted, running from between the little finger and the middle finger to the heart line, it's probably best to refer to it as the porn line. And it might be more fitting than just calling it a passion line. It is someone who has a strong interest in pornography and voyeurism, and a desire for a colorful sex life, and a vivid visual sexual imagination. So they're a little on that side, and I thought I'd show that to you because it's an interesting one. Slants over. Also, there's an Apollo line coming below. It starts about right here. Very strong. And it penetrates slightly, ever so slightly. And then you have a line coming up in between the head line and the heart line. And that is branching off from here. That's your fate line. And you have another fate line coming up. Okay, when you have a double, we refer to that as a double fate line. It just means you've got two responsibilities, could be two jobs, and they require time-consuming or demanding features about them. So that's very important. They demand your energy. So you have to just provide for both of your responsibilities, okay? And you've got another double one here inside the lifeline. Now here's your lifeline, and here's this line starting way back here and continues on, stops here. Double lifeline. Okay, so when you have a double lifeline, you have an increase in energy, physical robustness, and a fighting spirit. Now, don't confuse this with the Mars line that we saw. Mars line starts and then stops somewhere in here. But this starts all the way here and comes down to about here. So that is a second lifeline. So you just got double the energy, double the fighting spirit. Okay, so we move on. You've got a Mercury line coming from the lifeline going all the way up. And that's also referred to as your health line. But in this case, you have a line that lets you know you're in good shape, you're doing well. So this person is taking care of their body. And we clear that up with this lifeline. Very strong, very well defined, no breaks in it, and double it. So that's good. Sometimes you can have a Mercury line that's clear, well defined, no breaks in it, no problem. All right, headline is very sharp, very clear. It's not joined to the lifeline. So this child had, when he was a child, he had the independence started growing with him, but it's not a big independent space because there's not that much space between, just a little bit. All right, going on to the heart line. Now, with this, we have a heart line that is, well, immersed in islands. You've got a big one over here. You can see it. Here's the big one. And look at this here. So we have a heart line that has some issues, a lot of issues. And that's not very, very good, because when you have an island, like this group, for example, it's a feeling of isolation or loneliness, feeling stranded, like a desert island. Motivation and energy are low. And before I talk about the large one, let's talk about this dot. A dot. And this is at the end of all this troublesome area. It's like putting a black cloud over your plans. You have delays and you have worries. So I can understand this. Worries. Energy being sapped out because of delays and because things are not working well for you as planned. Now, when you have a double, or rather large one, it just seems to mean that maybe you're pushing too hard. You just have this big blast of lowering of energy and not feeling well. Whatever it was that occurred during this period in your life was a big, big hurt. Big hurt. And you really could feel it to the core. All right, finally, we go into the thumb. The thumb is flexible. See, you've got a little curve here. Thumb is flexible. And you've got this already measured. Here we have, sorry about that. Here we have a larger area for the will, which is your active part. And the thinking part or logical part is a little smaller. So that means the person has more energy to put whatever he comes up with into action. But what he's coming up with doesn't match the degree of action, of will to do it. But it's not bad. It's just a little smaller. So this person will make it. Okay, I think we've covered everything here. I believe so, the important things. All right. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you like this, by all means, give a thumbs up. Share and subscribe. Welcome to the new subscriber. Really happy to have you. Well, Have a wonderful day. Love yourself. Love and light. Bye.